Okay, so let's start again, guys. So, hey guys, it's HelpingHans here. We're going to be doing an infantry tier list for Company of Heroes 2. Let's put this in presentation mode. There we go. And to start off with, we're going to go with Stern Pioneers. So for me, immediately, Stern Pioneers as infantry, as the kind of, and also like an engineering squad. They are the best engineering squad in the game and very good at combat as well. They are a four-man squad, so they're kind of susceptible to snipers, but they can equip both the Sweeper and a Shrek with so the Sweeper package is 30 munitions, the Shrek is 60 munitions. Okay. And they also can put away their Sweeper, so they're back up to full firepower with their STGs. They're very good in close quarters combat. Once they can get up to Veterancy 5, and when they get Veterancy 1, they have the ability to lob a concussion grenade, which is very good against infantry. It stuns them for a short amount of time, allowing your guys to do more damage. So, and then as it levels up, it's just stronger, it repairs faster. So training reduces the cost of concussive grenade as well. Yeah, and reduce the risk of repairing when under fire. So yeah, great unit. And also, don't forget, it can salvage wrecks as well. So we have a destroyed vehicle, we can salvage it and gain some fuel. And if you can also put down a bunch of medical boxes as well. So let's say if you're not going for your battle group headquarters for your medical headquarters that way, you can drop down some med kits for, I believe, 45 munitions, and you can heal that with all your troops. So great utility and a bit of anti-tank capability. Can plant mines, some reinforced steel barbed wire as well. So this barbed wire can't be crushed by light vehicles like the M3s and stuff, which is useful as well. So overall, just an amazing unit. Definitely S tier when it comes to engineers as well, and also for a fighting unit. They are expensive, to be fair, but you know, I think they're still S tier regardless. Right then, next up we've got Volksgrenadiers. For some reason they look like Osttrooping on the portrait, but they are Volksgrenadiers. Now these guys, they can lay sandbags, which are great. And they can also put down barbed wire. They can also, once they gain, get a SWS truck out, they can start lobbing incendiary munitions. So good for clearing out units you don't want in certain areas. They have the Panzerfaust as well, which is good at 25 munitions. They also can salvage vehicles. They scale pretty well. They can upgrade SDGs. Upgrade that too. Their guys get SDGs. So I think Volksgrenadiers for me are probably some of the best infantry in the game and fairly cheap as well. Yeah, I'd probably put them, and they can get Vet 5 as well. Are they S tier though? They haven't got the utility of Sturms. So I'd probably put them in A tier. I don't think they deserve S tier, because I think they're A. Yeah, they don't. Because then we have the next thing I would like to talk about is probably the Panzer Fusiliers. Now, the Panzer Fusiliers, for me, are better than Volks. So if they're better than Volks, they have to be, Volks have to be A tier and Panzer Fusiliers have to be S tier. Now, Panzer Fusiliers, unfortunately, you need a specific battle group, or rather commander, to call them onto the field, but both battle groups that they have them in are very good. You get a Jagdtiger in one, and then you get a Tiger in another, so you've got some good late game potential either way. Now, Panzer Fusiliers have the ability to upgrade to Panzerschrecks for 100 munitions, or you can upgrade them with the G43 package for 80 munitions, and they also get up to 6 men. So you've got a way to either tech them to be anti-tank or anti-infantry. I'll probably just build 2 here real quick, get a second one out. The Panzer Fusilier. Right, one with Shreks, one with a G43. So you can see here, G43 opens up another slot, so you can go up to 6 men. They, with G43s, they get the ability to drop a flare as well, Vet 1, which is really good for vision. They have the anti-tank grenade. Shrek guys lose their ability to lob the anti-tank grenade, but I think they still retain the ability to lob a flare. I'm not sure if that's right for this mod. They have the ability to sprint potentially as well, which is quite nice, but they need rank 5 for that. And generally, when these guys get up to rank 5 and stuff, they become absolute killing machines, and they're very durable. Good survivability because they're a 5- and 6-man squad. So, absolutely amazing for those guys. Then we're on to the Obers, the Obersoldaten. Upgrade an LMG for 80 munitions. They can fire this LMG on the move, which is absolutely awesome. They can also lob a bundle grenade for 35 munitions. However, they have no anti-tank capability. And they are a 4-man squad, which makes them susceptible to being wiped quite easy, and snipers are a good fight versus them. They do have suppressing fire and the ability to lob a kind of a smoke grenade, but I would probably put them A tier Even though they are, when they scale up, they are some of the best infantry in the game. But they, because they've got no anti-tank capability, they're an A tier and low survivability, being a 4-man squad. Then move on to some of the other elite infantry squads. So we've got the officer here. You can equip. He comes with a pistol, but you can grab him some extra weapons. It does have the ability to target them. You can do forced retreat on a unit, which is pretty handy, and he's got smoke grenades, so some nice utility. But as a combat unit itself, it's not that great. So for me, I'm probably going to pop in maybe, probably somewhere in like a B tier. It's got no really anti-tank capability, but he's got like some decent utility there. So yeah, something like a B tier, maybe even a C tier for the officer. It's total force multiplier. I mean, yeah, with the marked target, you can quickly, whittle down units, and that force retreat is very handy. Not many units have the ability to drop force retreat on somebody. So if you've got an annoying machine gun in the way, drop that on it. You're laughing. Right, then we have the Jaegers. They can upgrade the G43s. Or one G43, so it makes it pretty good at sniping units. Good mid to long range unit here. Can booby trap points, has the ability to sprint, can salvage, can pop heals for 10 munitions. However, that being said, they have no anti-tank capability, and they're also only a 4-man squad. Again, that leaves them a bit vulnerable. But I believe they do cloak, so you can get some good ambush going in, and makes them, one of the few units that you might want to use to counter a sniper in, if you're playing OQW against Soviets or British. But overall, I'd probably still would put this maybe probably a B tier for the Jaegers, to be honest. B tier for Jaegers. Fallschirmjägers. They lost their ability to Panzerfaust, unfortunately, so that drops them in how good they are. They have got a bundle grenade and a smoke grenade, but apart from that, not much else. I think they can also camouflage as well when they're in, let's just go over here real quick. They are a very good anti-infantry squad. Yep, they can camouflage and cover as well, which is good for ambushing, but no AT capability. They're probably on par for me with Jaegers, so I'll probably put them in the same tier, to be honest, and B tier for them. Yeah, and also, again, 4-man squad, so low survivability, easy to get sniped or killed and wiped and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. I think they're a B tier. Right, then we're on to Austere. Right, Austere. Let's start off with their engineers squad. So their engineers, not actually that expensive, but not great fighting units. They do have the ability to get a flamethrower, but they can't choose between both a flamethrower and a minesweeper. So once you pick one, you lock out the other. They also can't put their sweeper away. They can build caches, and they can put down telemines as well as little S-mines. The S-mines are very good, and telemines are very good. But overall, as a combat unit, not that great. I'd probably put them down on a B tier or something like that. Their special command, they get the ability to lob a satchel charge. That is a good point. So that, makes them a little bit better because of that. But they're not the best combat fighting unit. Yeah, I think they're probably C tier, to be honest. Pioneers, they're not that good, to be honest. Right, then we go on to the standard 4-men Grens. Upgrade the MG42. Once again, 4-man squad, so not good survivability, but they have the absolutely amazing rifle grenade shot, which is great to wipe squads, and you can aim it on retreat point as a skill shot to wipe units as well, which I like. Got a little bit of AT capability with the Panzerfaust. Can pop heals as well. Not really much utility in the form of building. They can only build a bunker, and that's it. But I think they're a very good unit in terms of like your core frontline infantry. So and they scale pretty well as well. So I probably will pop these guys in. Oh, they as good as Sturms and as no, I'll probably put them in A tier. Probably, yeah. I think they're about A tier, I would say. Not as good as Panzerfuses, not as good as Sturms. I think they go in A tier. Next up, we'll talk about Assault Grenadiers. Now, Assault Grenadiers, kind of situational. They are good in close quarters combat, can lob a load of grenades, but they get outclassed later on by shocks and other elite infantry. They have a sprint, but that's pretty much all that's going for them. They got no anti-tank capability, pretty rubbish. Askrens are S. Do they belong? They're E or F tier. Let's put them in E tier for the moment. See if anything's worse than that.
Guards on the move.
Then let's talk about the sniper. Right, Austin Sniper. How does this compare? Very good sniper. It's got the ability to do a incendiary round shot, which is very nice against clumped up infantry. Can stun a lot of units and things like that. As snipers go, it's pretty good. Is it better than the British sniper though? I think I'd probably prefer the British sniper because the British sniper's got some kind of AT capability there. But it's pretty good. I'd probably pop it in A tier. Generally though, like the Ostis sniper is up, if you fight against conscripts, he's not going to do, he's not going to bleed as much as like what the Soviet would do against, against Axis instead. So not that good in that regard, but we'll leave him in A tier for the moment. I do like the sniper in general. Now the artillery field officer, aspiring aura. British frontline officer can direct and motivate nearby soldiers and vehicle crews to fight harder. And diversion. The officer will command his unit to withdraw fire and create a diversion. And it has a heavy mortar barrage of Vet 1. It's pretty mid, not great. Probably E's, no real AT capability. So we'll probably pop this artillery field officer again E tier, similar to the assault grenadiers. Right, Ostrupen. Ostrupen can also make trenches, I believe. For some reason, it's not showing it on this thing, but they can. They're not a really good fighting combat unit, but they're very cheap to reinforce, and they do better on cover as well. So you put them on cover, they'll benefit from ambush. Ostrupens are more accurate when firing from cover, so they do better there. They've also, when they level up, when they escalate to Battle Phase 2, they can get LMG. I actually think Ostrupen are very good. I used to use them a lot. It's not the end of the world if you lose them because they're a cheap squad to replace. Though it is, I guess, hard to vet them up once you lose them. They have the ability to Panzerfaust as well, can heal, good survivability, 6-man squad, and cheat, like I said, and they're very quick to reinforce as well. A lot of people don't really count that into consideration. So I think for me, Ostrupen, S tier. Love Ostrupen. I mean, I made the Ostrupen strat, so I can't say no to Ostrupen being an S tier. Right, Jaeger Command Squad, you can only make one of these, so that's not great. But as an infantry squad on its own, it's pretty good. They get G43s. They can do the rifle grenade. They do the Panzerfaust. They can lob a smoke grenade, and they can lob a flare. So overall, great utility. I'd probably put them in S tier for that one unit. And then we've got Panzer Grenadiers. Now, Panzer Grenadiers, 4-man squad. Again, low survivability. You can keep them in as a 4-man SCG squad, or for 100 munitions, upgrade for 2 Panzer Shreks. Has a bundle grenade. Some of the command abilities give them the ability to repair as well. Increase speed and reduce receipt accuracy when near vehicles as well with the Vet 1. Pretty decent, but yeah, I think I'd give them Panzer Grenadiers probably something like A tier as an infantry goes. They've got the utility upgrade with Shreks, but again, low survivability. Then we have Stormtroopers. Now, Stormtroopers, you can insert them in behind lines in like little cabins or buildings in different locations. They can camouflage. They could go for MP40 package and also upgrade a single Shrek as well. The MP40 package is free, but you can't spawn them in and instantly have MP40s to mow people down. You have to wait for that to tech. They have got vehicle detection, lob an incendiary grenade, smoke grenade, booby trap. I don't think they're as good at Panzer Grenadiers and CQC, though. Tactical advance. If you give them... Yeah, I think you might... Can you give... I don't know, what do we think? A tier or S tier for these guys? I really find it hard to justify putting any squad into S tier when they only have 4 men. So I'm going to put you guys into A tier as Stormtroopers. They're quite expensive. Remember that as you've got to remember that as well. So I'll probably put them into A tier, I'm afraid, guys. Most of these units, that we're putting into A tier, because it's mostly 4-man squads, and again, the survivability on 4-man squads isn't great. The Sturms are up there because they're just the best, repairing unit, CQC unit right at the start of the game, so they deserve that spot. But the others, I don't think so. Right, and then we have the Luftwaffe Field Officer. As a smoke bomb run, he does Inspiring Aura and Diversion. He can also do a Recon Pass, and Vet 1 he gets a Suppression run. That's pretty good utility. No AT capability, though. Not bad for an officer unit, though. I'd probably pop them in B tier. Yeah, probably pop you in B tier as an officer goes. Pretty decent, not terrible. All right, that's them done. That's Austere all sorted for you guys. Right, then we're on to Soviets. Let's see what we got. Soviets got lots of units. Right, combat, conscripts, penals, scouters, guards infantry, guards airborne, shocks, partisans of different varieties, commissar. Right. So let's start with your combat engineers. Right, combat engineers. How do they do? They're 170 manpower, very cheap for an engineer squad. So if you lose them, fairly cheap to replace. Same thing as pioneers. They get the flamethrower or the sweeper. They can put down caches. They can put down mines and razor wire. They've only got the one type of mine compared to the normal pioneers from Austere that have the ability to put down tellers and shoe mines. However, combat engineers can put down demolition charges as well as trip mines. And they are very prevalent when you put them in a clown car, an M3 clown car with the flamethrower early game, which is very good. And you can't do that with Austere unless you get a the 251 half track and do the same thing. But you don't really see that happen too much. You definitely see the clown car M3 Soviet variety a lot more, and it's very strong, especially against like OKW early game. So I will put the I'll actually rate these guys better than normal pioneers. I'll probably put them in B tier because of those reasons I've stated. Right. Then we've got conscripts. Now conscripts cheap. 240. They have the ability to merge, which is sick. That's a really sick ability to be able to keep other squads on the front that might be more valuable than them. Keep the machine gun in play, keep a Ziz gun in play if it's getting low. Really, really nice to have that. They have Ura, which is a cheap 50-minute ability to sprint, basically, across to get to close distance. Maybe if you want to chase down a machine gun or get behind a machine gun before it has the time to set up, which is a great ability. Area deny with Molotov and an anti-tank grenade. They can put down sandbags as well. And that sandbag will encompass the whole squad as well, which is very good. So the whole squad can stack up behind that. So I think conscripts, yeah, very good. You know, they've got, and then there's other commanders which give them other abilities. They can have PPSHs, anti-tank rifles, things like that as well. So there's other commanders that can buff them up as well. So conscripts for me, I think are they S tier? I think conscripts are S tier for their utility and how cheap they are and their utility. So I put conscripts up there at S tier. Penals. Right, 2 penal squads, boys. Right, so you can go 2 ways. You can leave your penals as they are, and they could be just a general good anti-infantry squad, lobbing normal satchels. But you can also upgrade them with PTRS package, so they get 3 PTRS weapons, which are good against light vehicles. They also gain access to a anti-vehicle satchel charge, which will cripple pretty much every heavy tank. If it gets hit by that, will receive a damaged engine. So you want to be very careful around these guys, which is very nice. They also have the ability when they get one to the last man. So the more dudes that die on the squad, they fight harder. I think penals are pretty damn good as well overall. I don't think they're that expensive as unit. It's 290, a little bit more expensive than conscripts, but yeah, I think they're pretty good. Yeah, both satchels are very good. Yeah, satchels are good at clearing, clearing other targets and stuff. So pretty damn good, pretty durable. Scale pretty well as well. Penals, 6-man squad as well, good survivability. I think penals are S tier as well, to be honest. Yeah, we'll put penals up there. Right, Soviet sniper. Very good. Good, it's generally going to be fighting up against a lot of like 4-man squads and things like that from OKW, maybe Austere. So it's just generally good because of that. So I probably would rate it higher than the Austere purely just based on that merit. It also does have a flare, which I probably would value more than the incendiary round because I like vision. Vision is everything. Good, you can drop this to get, for your teammates for vision, drop artillery kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely put the the sniper up, probably an A tier for the. Well, we've already got the austere sniper there. Is it the best sniper in the game? Ooh, I don't know. The flare is very nice. Do I drop the sniper? Yeah, I'm gonna drop the austere sniper actually down to B tier, and leave. Yeah, because I think the Soviet sniper is better than the austere sniper overall because of that. So we'll leave it like that. Right, then we've got guards.
Rifleman moving.
Okay, we're on to guards now. Now, guards, they start off with PTRS package, so they already got some light AT capability. Giving them the 2 DPs that makes them also then very good against infantry.
Team on the move.
So they're kind of like multi-purpose. They can lob a normal grenade to fight infantry as well, and they have the ability to button a vehicle, which like stops it from moving, slows it down. Great for ambushing, things like that. When they get firing positions, guards can take up defense positions and go to ground to increase their fire rate as well. Guards, for me, S tier. The best infantry in the game.
We are. That PTRS gets hit.
Right, then we've got Commissar. Commissar, great utility. Lobs a grenade. Hold the line. I'm pretty sure when he levels up, he gets another man. At 1. Yeah, he gets 6 men when he levels up as well. Has the healing as well, so you can have the on-map healing, hold the line, as well as not one step back, some extra buffs for your troops, and a propaganda to force enemy units back. So for me, best officer in the game, Commissar, is up there at S tier as a unit.
Squad, move out, man.
Right, then we have assault guards. What do we think of assault guards, ladies and gentlemen? We have. So assault guards, they can go over to Thompsons, or they can get the bazookas. They have the ability to lob a bunch of grenades,
Someone throw a grenade.
which is quite nice. 6 grenades. That's a good opportunity to maybe wipe a blob or a machine gun or whatever have you. And when they get the bazooka, are more effective when used by elite infantry. So they're better with those bazookas. They've only got 2 though. Does the Thompsons give them anything else?
Does confirm.
No, they just get Thompsons and make them good at close quarters combat.
They are on their way.
So, are they better than normal guards though? They haven't really got. They
Need.
haven't got the button, so that's not good. How much they cost compared to? I can't remember how much they cost compared to normal guards, but I think it's similar. I think I'm gonna put them in A tier because they haven't got the button. So yeah, they go into A tier.
We are away.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Right, then the paratrooper variant.
Guards, we move.
They can get DPs or get PPSHs. DPs, they get the ability to lob grenade. And then with the PPSHs, they get the ability to lob smoke grenade as well as fire superiority as well. But no anti-tank capability. So that kind of makes them worse. They do have a Vet 1 Sturmovik strafing run, which is pretty good to have. But yeah, no AT capability really. So that's going to drop them down to probably B tier in my eyes.
Guards here.
Alright, see you later, lads.
Locating.
Right, shocks.
We move.
Now, shocks, unlike these guys, shocks are much harder to hit.
Ready.
A lot more durable. They haven't got any anti-tank capability, but they all come with these kind of PPSH submachine guns. So they're probably one of the best CQC units in the game, and because of that, we'll put them in S tier. Like I said, they don't have any AT capability, but because they're one of the best CQC squads in the game, we give them that rating.
What is it? Let's go, comrades.
Then we have the Ship Brigade, Partisans.
You have orders?
So you can get Parsons. So normal Parsons you can upgrade with a Shrek maybe, or they can come with like some like upgrades and weapons and stuff. Overall though, they're pretty crap. They don't really survive very well. Pretty squishy, low unit count as well. So Partisans just in general will probably pop them down to D tier. Then they're probably better than the assault grens and stuff because they have the infiltration. And they have the ability to, have some AT capability or anti-infantry capability, but they're not that great.
You have orders?
Right. Next up, Americans. Oh my god, there's a lot of American units here. Right, rifleman, lieutenant, captain, major, paratroopers, pathfinders, R&R pathfinders, rangers, assault engineers, medics, vehicle crew, paratroopers, and cavalry riflemen. I forgot about cavalry riflemen. Fuck me, so many units here. Right, rear echelons. Now, these guys are pretty damn good. You can also give them like a rifle grenade at some point, or isn't there like ability to give them flamethrowers or something? I can't remember now, but they've got some like commander abilities to buff them up as well, which is pretty good. They can lob down razor wire, anti-tank traps, put down a fighting position, put these little cheap anti-tank vehicle mines, which are kind of nice. They also have volley fire, which is pretty damn nice if you utilize that correctly. And because when you play with Americans in general, right, you can just give them extra weapons down the line anyway, as with any kind of American unit. So that kind of gives them better utility overall. So with all of that and the volley fire as well, and also they get the smoke grenade package, which is great for assaulting positions. I think rear echelons are pretty damn good as engineers go. So let's pop them up to at least A tier because of that. I think they're better than the normal Soviet engineers because of their extra utility and the fact that they can get extra weapons and stuff as well. Right, riflemen. Your bog standard riflemen, they have frags, they have AT rifle grenades, and again, you can spec them with the weapon upgrades in the base to be harder hitting with either anti-infantry or anti-tank if you want to. They're pretty good, but do they scale that well as infantry goes? I think they're probably... There's normal riflemen. I would probably put them in something like B or A tier. It's strong B or low A tier. I agree with you guys there. I think it's going to be, for me, put them in A tier because of the different weapons they can pick up and stuff as well. So I give them an A, put them in A tier for the moment. Right, lieutenant. I mean, when you tech up as Americans, you automatically either have to pick a lieutenant or a captain, regardless. So they're kind of like almost a free unit when you upgrade, which is kind of a buff for Americans, which is pretty good. These guys can get a bazooka for, what was it, 50 munitions. They can lob a frag grenade and a smoke grenade, and then you can also give them another bazooka, whatever, if you want. It does come with a Thompson, so a little bit of CQC extra damage there, but not that great as a unit. No anti-tank snare. So lieutenant for me, probably like a B tier unit. See you later. Now captain upgrades to a bar, so a bit more anti-tank capability there, anti-infantry capability. Also another CQC unit there with the Thompson, so kind of better, kind of already kind of focused into anti-infantry. They can do a supervise to speed up the production time of a unit, which is quite handy. Smoke grenade again, and they can do on me, which is a very nice ability. So which you can then, when any unit is suppressed, they can then activate that to remove suppression. So better utility than the lieutenant. So for me, the captain is better, therefore goes in A tier. Right, major. Now major, not really a fighting unit, but not a lot of nice utility. Has the forward retreat point, which is good. Little rapid barrage, smoke grenade as well, or a recon overpass. That's good. So you've got a non-doctrinal, non-commander for a recon, which is really good, and you great in team games as well. And he has the fake flares as well, fake rapid fire. So as an officer and utility, it's pretty damn good. Major, probably A tier because of all those things. It's not really a combat unit, so I can't give it justification in S tier, but we'll put it in A tier because of all of its great utility. Right, then we have paratroopers. Now, paratroopers, Thompsons, bazookas, or LMGs, so a lot of nice choice here. They're quite an expensive unit. Let me remind myself with Americans, if we buy all of these guys. So Thompsons, they get the ability for a tactical assault, which is nice. Good CQC. Bazookas, they're elite squad, so they do more damage with them. M19s, they have suppression fire. So they've got, so the bazookas, the paratrooper squad, you can spec them any kind of way, so that's kind of great utility there. But once they're locked into that, they're kind of set with that role. But you can get multiple of them to choose whatever way you want to go. They're a pretty good unit, scale pretty well later on in the game. Are they S tier? What do we think? S tier for Paras? Yeah, a lot of people saying S tier. I kind of agree with you guys there. So yeah, we'll put paratroopers in S tier. Why is there 2 type of paratroopers on this thing? I don't know why. One can put a mine. Pop you guys up here. Paratroopers can't normally put mines down, so... Right. Let's get rid of these guys. Next up, Pathfinders. We've got 2 type of Pathfinders. Let's go through both of them right now. What are the 2 types of paratroopers then? Hang on. 2 types of paratroopers? Only 1 type by the looks of it. 2 types of Pathfinders though. So Pathfinders, right, Pathfinders, I think I'm going to have to put these guys near around about S tier. I don't think I've got the access to all their abilities, but if someone in chat can maybe just talk to me about some of their abilities off. I think the R&R Pathfinders, I think, have like an off-map barrage, if I remember right. They're just very good at sniping units down. They scale well. You could put like M19s and bars on them later on as well. There are 4-man squads that are kind of squishy, but they are very good and quite cheap. No Pathfinders do snipe models. RR Pathfinders do not, but have artillery. I think both of them are pretty good. Like the artillery ones. But I think I'd probably prefer the standard ones more than the R&R ones, because these ones just perform better in combat, I think. So... we'll probably put these guys S tier, and these ones in A tier. There we go. Then we're on to Rangers. Now, Rangers, you can give them bazookas, or you could just give them Thompsons. How many bazookas? Now, I know in Co 3, but paratroopers, Ranger squads can equip as many bazookas as they bloody want. Slot items, bazooka. How many bazookas can you guys get? Is it 3 or is it just 2? They have 3 weapon slots for bazookas, which is more than most units get in Co 2. So, and then is it all of them? So 4 Thompsons or 3 bazookas you could go for. So Rangers, again, very durable, scale very well late game. You know, good. I think they can fire their bazookas on the move as well, if I can remember right, which is pretty damn strong. I think, yeah, Rangers are very good. I think I'm going to pop them up in S tier for that. They can, yeah, durable, similar to like something like Shocks. So I think Rangers for me are S tier as well. Right, anyone else? Yeah, okay.
Let's get going, comrades.
Right, we'll talk about the Assault Engineers.
Yes, comrade.
So Assault Engineers come early in the game. You can equip them with a flamethrower. Durable. They can lob demolition charge. The ability to do a critical repair, which is nice on units. They can put down normal mines as well. Pretty decent CQC unit, but not really too much anti-tank capability. Overall, I think Assault Engineers... probably something like a B tier for me. I would say you also need a commander for them as well, so that's not good. Probably put them in B tier. Then we have Medics.
We'll get there.
Medics, they're not a good combat unit, but they do heal troops. But you can't just. I don't think as Americans you could just make medics, right? They have to come in an ambulance. So, yeah, they're not even on this list. So, but we'll just ignore them. They'd probably be F tier though. So see you later, lads.
Engineers on the way.
Then we've got vehicle crews. So vehicle crews, you can like give them Thompsons with a Spartan commander, I remember. And generally, they're not really a fight as an infantry squad. But for Americans and their mechanics, better jump them out, do the emergency quick repair to get your vehicles going again, and they can then transfer them from vehicle crews. So you can get you could instantly vet up maybe a Sherman to Veteran C3 potentially if you put the right crew in it. With a fresh one, keeping vehicle crews alive for Americans is huge. I think vehicle crews probably should be listed. I think I'm going to put them in A tier. They're not a combat unit, but they've got great utility. And then we got cavalry riflemen.
Yes, brother. Partisans. Let's
Is
get
the last one. Cavalry riflemen. They can upgrade with Thompsons. They also come with Sten guns, so they're already kind of very good in CQC. They have an anti-tank vehicle charge and can lob a smoke grenade, and they have fire superiority as well. Pretty decent. So good against infantry and some AT capability there. So, and I think you can probably put them in the back of like the M5 half trick and stuff and rolling them around. How do they compare to everybody else? I think I'll give them A tier cavalry riflemen. All right, that's Americans done. Right, one more faction to go for, boys. We've done everybody apart from Brits. Right. Mandos. Raid section. There we go. Right. Best for last.
Move.
Sections. S tier. Immediately. Normal sections are immediately for me S tier. They are so good. They can get up to 5 men. They can constantly pop healing, so they've got great durability in a fight. You can normally make a couple of them, and one have the pyrotechnic squad to drop artillery as well as smoke. They have a normal frag. They can put down cover and put down caches on. Sections are just such a good squad. Like, honestly, because they have that kind of odd map healing, it makes them so much better for me than other, normal riflemen or conscripts. Even, I mean, yeah, I would prefer sections over conscripts, even if they don't naturally have AT capability. I just think they're so good because of all of those things. They're just so good. That kind of on-map healing is just, so you can't knock that. Then you've got Royal Engineers, and Royal Engineers, Sten guns, okay. Not great combat unit. I guess they can get a flamethrower if you give them a certain commander. Put down mines, barbed wire. They can also put down some handy emplacements and stuff as well, which are pretty useful. So that's some good utility there. They do have the ability to lob anti-tank grenades. So a little bit of AT capability compared to other engineers. So I'll actually give them... I'll probably rate them high. They probably should at least be A tier, I think. Normal sappers. They're better than pioneers, better than combat engineers, because they got the AT capability as well.
Engineers move
Right. Anti-tank hunters. Well, I can't remember the last time I made these guys, but they're a dedicated anti-tank unit. They have got a little bit of anti-infantry capability with the Mills bomb. They can lob a heat grenade, and you can upgrade the Piets with 70 munitions. So upgrade from anti-tank rifles to Piets, which are a lot better at killing armor. So nice, and they got vehicle detection. Pretty decent, but not the best anti-infantry capability. So I'd probably put them into, and you also need a commander for them. So for me, they probably B tier for them. Maybe A tier? I don't know. The fact that you can upgrade them from tank rifles to stronger weapons later on is pretty damn good. And they can also still build cover for themselves. And caches. Pretty decent. Maybe. We'll leave them in B tier for the moment. Maybe look at them later on. Assault guys, right, they come with Sten guns. These guys can be put into a universal carry right at the start of the game, and you can get right up into your opponent's grill. Do a lot of nice close quarters combat, but they don't scale into the late game, sadly. Because of that, they are not that good. So I'd probably put them down to something like C tier for assault sections. Why don't they scale? Because they're purely anti-infantry. They don't have good armor. They'll get chewed up later on in the game by more elite squads. So for me, yeah, not that good. Personally. They won't really scale that well. So yeah, I'm going to put them down in C tier. Then we've got the Royal Engineer Recovery Squad. Now this unit, getting this, you can salvage. So you can get some, you get munitions? And fuel with salvage, I think. I can't remember if it both. So we'll salvage this. So we get fuel and a bit of munitions. So you get a bit of both, which is pretty good. So that's nice. So, and they can get flamethrower. You can give them a flamethrower as well. Or you give them the sweeper. Same thing. They're better than the normal engineers, so I've got to probably rate them higher. And with the salvage, are they S tier though? Probably. I'll probably put them on the same level. They are a bit better than normal engineers, but not by much. I'll put them on that. And they also, you do need a commander for them as well, so that kind of puts them down a bit.
We are on the way.
Okay, the British sniper. Drop a flare, and it can stun and critically shot vehicles. Very good because of that. So probably, for me, I would say it's the best sniper in the game. I'm going to give it S tier. It's great at picking away squads. And a little bit of utility against vehicles as well. It's the best sniper for me, British sniper.
Moving.
Right, commandos. Amazing CQC squad. Can camouflage, can put down. The gamma bomb is lethal. Very high chance to wipe squads with that. Demo charge is nice. They can lob a smoke grenade as well. Elite commanders better to equip their Bren guns. So if they can put Bren guns on them, they'll do better as well. And for me, commandos are S tier for sure. They're just so good. If you get them in the right place on any unit, they will shred them. Doesn't matter what unit it is. If they're one-on-one with anything, they will kill it. Even if it's like vetted up Panzer Fusiliers, if they get the jump on them, they'll win. So they're very good. You've also got the infiltration commandos. They're not on this list here for some reason, but infiltration commandos for me, they don't get as many units, but they can jump it on into certain areas. I think, are they a 4-man squad, Max? I think they're a 4-man squad in total. They come in as a 3-man. They don't perform as well as normal commandos.
Listen up, men.
Can they get fully reinforced now? They can go up to 5. Okay, so they're pretty much the same thing. They're pretty much the same. But I would probably maybe rate the infiltration commanders better because you can then spawn them in right behind maybe on an enemy unit's retreating and wipe them. So I might even rate infiltration commanders a bit better than normal commanders because of that infiltration feature. Okay? But that's the only thing that I'd probably make, say different. But they are pretty good because of that. Right, then we're on to the raid section. I can't remember the last time I made a raid section. And these guys you can call in straight away. I love the fact that they've got these little camouflage hats on. You can give them 2 Vickers K machine guns. Someone told me last that the Vickers K machine gun was bugged on infantry, so they don't properly fire. But when they're working, it makes them very good. Quite expensive though. 120 munitions for that. They got incendiary grenade. They can do a sprint, and they can lay down mines. It's a little bit of AT capability, but if they get dived on by a vehicle, they're in trouble. But raid sections are pretty decent. Probably popped them in A tier. Not as good as normal sections, in my opinion, because they haven't got the healing, but they are still pretty good. And they're just the bog standard mortar team. We're not talking about mortars because that's not an infantry section specifically, so we'll ignore that. Then we got the medics. Now the medics, again, not great infantry squad, but fairly cheap. You can drop them out to heal. So if you haven't got the on-map healing from your infantry sections, then these guys are your next best bet. But for me, like you should, if you're a good player, you should always have at least 2 sections with the medical supplies. So if you feel like you're forced to go for a British medical squad, you're not good enough, and you're playing badly, in my opinion. So for me, medics are a waste of money and resources. F tier. Right, and then we have your assault officer squad, which you can buy from your buildings. It's not a commander unit. Can upgrade with the Vickers, which is pretty good. It's a very good CQC unit. Has the ability to lob like gamma bomb, which is very nice. It could do a heroic charge. So if you combine that with another squad that doesn't normally have sprint, you go bang, give them heroic charge. So you can then sprint in another lethal squad to get in close to do damage. So nice utility there with that. Smoke again to blind something you want to blind. Drop an artillery barrage, and Vet 1 gets a recon sweep. That's so much good utility there from one unit. And I believe it goes up to 5-man squad. Yeah, it goes up to a 5-man squad, so more survivability later on in the game as well. So for me, S tier for that unit. And there we have it. There we go, guys. That is my infantry tier list for Company Heroes 2. What do you think? Do you think it is a good tier list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I saw someone say, why is Osttroopen up there on S tier? Osttroopen, cheap. Scale well. Reinforce incredibly quickly. They're one of the squads, out of all the squads in the game, they reinforce stupidly quickly. Great utility with building, and they also can Panzerfaust. And they also get the LMGs as well later on. So very nice. I disagree on artillery officer. Grenadiers become obers with boosts. His boosts. Yeah, maybe, but he's only on like one or two commanders, and those commanders aren't the best commanders in the game, to be honest. So I mean, yeah, there's a lot of S tier units, man. There is. There's a lot of absolute dominating units in the game. Obers are here. They're A tier. Now, some of these units, like Obers, Panzer Grenadiers, would maybe rank higher if they had more men in the squad. But a lot of these units, like these 3 units here, or these 4 units here, are only 4-man squad. Very susceptible to snipers, very easy to get wiped by artillery and get shit killed and retreat. If they lose 1 man, that's 25% of their firepower gone. You got to realise that. So, for the most part, potentially. I mean, unless, you know, for these guys at least. But I guess these guys will have an LMG, and that's where they get most of their firepower from. Bolshevik, yeah, they haven't got Panzerfaust anymore. Make a tank tier list for company heroes. I guess we could do a tank tier list as well if you guys want for company heroes too at some point. Yeah, there we go. All right. So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch you in the next video, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.